Afternoon. I am Sujeet Kumar, Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha from Odisha and also the convener of the All-Party Parliamentary Forum on Tibet. I really wanted to join the launch of the report Resetting India's Tibet Policy 2022 by Sri O.P. Tandon and by Ms. Rabin Banerjee Dhar. But because of other political compulsions, I could not travel to Delhi and hence I am sending this message. I must compliment the authors on this path-breaking and compelling study on India-Tibet-China relations. And I think this will provide a lot of food for thought for the policymakers, particularly for the Government of India, for the Parliament and other scholars on understanding the core issue of Tibet. Now, Tibet, as China has made the world to believe, is not China's internal issue. Tibet is core to India's humanitarian and security concerns. It's certainly not the internal issue of China alone. Not because His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has been staying in India since 1959, not because over 80,000 Tibetan refugees, Tibetan brothers and sisters reside in India, but because the Sino-Tibet conflict has been unresolved. Tibet is an occupied territory since 1950-51 and because it has grave implications for India's security concerns. There is not an inch of border between India and China. It is the India-Tibet border. Now, China has always behaved like a school bully, like a typical school bully. The more you adhere to what the bully demands, the more it will bully you. But the moment you stand up to a school bully, it will back up. So that's how one has to deal with China. And the time has come for India to reassess and re-examine its Tibet policy. And also the Government of India needs to reaffirm the validity of the Tibet-Simla Agreement. My heart goes out to my Tibetan brothers and sisters residing in Tibet today. The cultural and religious genocide that has been imposed on them by CCP, Sinization of Tibet, the ethnic cleansing and the demographic transformation, the massive degradation of environment and diversion of water resources which China has been doing, using water as a weapon and as a tool against its neighboring countries. These are all systematic efforts to destroy the Tibetan way of life and the Tibetan civilization. So this has to stop, and like-minded countries, particularly India, has to start calling a spade and start behaving confidently in its dealing with China when it comes to the Tibetan issue. I'm sure this policy document will hugely benefit the MEA and other departments of MHA and other departments of Government of India, and also parliamentarians like me in understanding the core issues of Tibet, understanding the Sino-Tibet conflict, and also help change the false narrative which China has been able to sell. China has been able to convince the world that Tibet is an internal issue of China, which is certainly not an internal issue of China. So this false narrative has to be fought tooth and nail, and the more this policy document recommendations are discussed and disseminated, I think the better it will be for India's security and humanitarian concerns. At the end, I'll urge the authors to organize an interaction session with members of Parliament, which I'm willing to facilitate, so that more MPs, more policymakers and more state legislators are also aware of the Tibetan issues and Tibetan concerns. As the convener of the All-Party Parliamentary Forum on Tibet, it's incumbent on me to and on the forum to widely spread the recommendations and insights and inputs of this policy document, and I'm looking forward to working with the authors on making it more and more accessible and widely disseminated. Thank you.